On a dark, cold autumn night, I sat alone at home. Rain poured heavily outside, with thunder echoing through the surroundings. I was enjoying the unnatural quietness that filled the house. Everyone else was away on vacation, leaving me to savor some peace. Everything seemed normal until the electricity suddenly went out, plunging the house into complete darkness. Only the faint shadows cast by intermittent lightning provided any light. A shiver ran down my spine, but I tried convincing myself it was just an ordinary power outage. I sat in the living room, attempting to calm myself, but after a few moments, I heard light footsteps coming from the hallway leading to the bedrooms. I froze, then strained to listen again, thinking it might be my imagination. But the footsteps repeated, slow and heavy, as if someone was quietly approaching. My heart raced, and I began to wonder what I should do. Should I scream for help? But who would hear me at this late hour in this pitch-black silence? While I wrestled with my thoughts, the footsteps grew closer and closer until I felt the person had reached the living room door. Taking a deep breath, I decided to face my fear. I raised my voice and asked in a trembling tone, "Who's there?" No answer came, but I sensed a slight movement, as if someone was watching me in the darkness. A few moments of silence passed before a faint, chilling voice emerged from the darkness saying, "Have you forgotten me?" I didn't know how to respond. I didn't recognize the voice. Suddenly, the doorbell rang loudly, breaking the eerie silence. I stood up cautiously and made my way to the door. Each step felt like walking on ice, fragile and likely to break underfoot. When I reached the door, I hesitated. My hand trembled as I slowly turned the doorknob, pulling the door inward. Standing there was a tall man dressed entirely in dark clothing, with a black hat covering his head. His features were hard to see in the darkness, but I could make out his piercing eyes, staring at me with a strange, sinister gaze. The man took a step back, silently observing me. I managed to ask in a shaky voice, "Who are you? What do you want?" He didn't answer. Instead, he slowly raised his hand to reveal a sharp knife, glistening under the dim flashes of lightning. I quickly stepped back, slamming the door shut. I frantically looked around for something to defend myself with and found a wooden stick in one of the corners. I gripped it with all my strength and cautiously approached the door again. I could hear his footsteps nearing the door on the other side, followed by a sharp sound as if he was trying to force it open. My heart was racing so fast that I felt I might pass out. I started thinking about how to escape this nightmare. I considered escaping through a window, but remembered that they were sealed tightly because of the storm. Suddenly, the noise stopped, and an eerie stillness filled the place. I crept into the kitchen quietly, searching for something that might help me. I picked up a heavy tool, nervously scanning the shadows around me, expecting him to appear at any moment. At that instant, I saw the man's shadow cast on the hallway wall, slowly approaching until he reached the kitchen entrance. I hid behind the kitchen table, holding my breath. The man entered the kitchen, looking around, searching for me. He came closer and closer until nothing separated us. I sprang up suddenly, raising the tool to strike, but he was quicker than me, grabbing my hand with a strong grip. I tried to scream, but his voice drowned mine out as he said, "You're not escaping." I struggled, trying to free my hand from his grasp, but he was much stronger. He squeezed my hand harder, and I felt like I was losing control. But suddenly, he let go and stepped back, looking at me with a disturbing smile, and said calmly, "There will be another meeting soon." He then turned and vanished into the darkness, leaving me trapped in a terror that would haunt me forever.